What's good, y'all? It's your boy Real Talk, Humble Success. I'm going to be talking about how to overcome the porn addiction everybody's struggling with in today's society. A lot of people are struggling with in today's society. These are things that I've actually struggled with in the past. I'm not one person who will come here and be like, I never struggled with anything like this, because when I was younger, I was exposed to this thing at the age of, what was it? Like freaking, what grade was I? I was in like grade 5. I was like 10, bro. I was 10 when I was exposed to this shit. And it became an addiction in my later, like my early teens. And I only stopped watching it at the age of 17. At the age of 17. So it's been almost 3 years now. It's been 3 years now since I've stopped watching porn for myself. I'm here to just tell you, like, I'm going to be saying in this video all the bad impacts it has on you, how you can get away from this addiction, how you can move forward, you know. How I really overcame this addiction in real shit. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like, bro, I was addicted to this shit. I'm telling you, my lips were dry. I was breathing heavy. Heart was pounding, bro. I was waiting for everybody to dip out the crib, bro. That was all I wanted to do on a Saturday night. I was up to like 4 a.m. waiting for the right opportunity to waste my time. Waste my thing. What you really need to understand is that porn is a waste of your energy. If you're a woman, you're a guy, porn is a huge waste of your energy. You don't get anything positive in return from watching it. Name one person who has gotten something positive in return. All that thing does is push negative habits to you. That's all it does is push negative habits to you. If you're a person who wants to be of high value, you got to be able to control your dopamine. You got to be able to control your desires. You got to be able to control your mind, bro, to the sense where little things like having that urge doesn't control you anymore. You're able to be like, nah, I'm not a man of low value. I'm not a woman of low value. Because that's what it is, bro. I'll tell you this right now. If you watch that shit, you're a person of low value. You don't have any value if you watch that shit, because you don't understand how to control yourself, your desires, your mind. You're a slave to your mindset. It's something, what's it called? I know y'all are gonna find it corny, but there's something Andrew Tate said. He said, a man who can't even control his mind is like a feather in the wind, bro. You're weak. You're a bitch, bro. That's all I'm saying. Like, you don't have any control for yourself. How can you call yourself a man, but all you do is watch porn all day? You bring no value to your family. Your mom is fucking struggling. You're just at home watching porn in your mom's basement. You're not doing shit for yourself. That same goes for a woman, bro. You're a woman of low value if you're watching that shit, because what value are you bringing to your future husband? You're watching all these junk nonsense, and then you expect the man to provide for you. That shit doesn't add up. But that's besides that. Porn doesn't do anything but increase your dopamine. All it does is increase your dopamine. You're watching and like, look at it from a realistic standpoint. You're a guy, you're watching another man please another woman. How can you even call yourself a man, bro? How can you call yourself a man of value if you're a cuck? You're a cuck. That's the real word. You're just a cuck, bro. You're a loser. That's the definition of a loser. You're watching another man please another woman. Please a woman you dream to be with, but you can't. You don't have access to, because you have no value in the real world. And I spoke about this in my previous videos. A man with no value is nothing, bro. You have to build your value as a man. If you're watching that shit, you're just low. You're nothing. So how do you overcome this addiction? Let's say you're an average Joe, you're an average woman. How do you overcome this addiction? First, you got to realize, you got to surrender yourself. You have to admit the fact that you have a porn addiction. You have to admit it. You have to realize that you've been letting yourself be under control of your mind for the longest time. You got to take control. You got to take that control back. How do you take that control back? You got to realize the triggers. What's triggering you? A lot of you guys wake up early in the morning. You don't sleep till like 4 a.m. You guys are scrolling through Instagram. You're following a bunch of IG models. with thick asses, big titties. You expect to never watch porn, but you're triggered, bro. You're back into that cycle. You're beating your meat late at night. You're adding no value for yourself. First of all, you got to remove those triggers. If you realize you following all these IG models, scrolling through Instagram, seeing a bunch of females, women you don't have access to, is triggering this porn addiction, bro. Delete social media. If it has to be for a week, 6 months to a year, bro, you got to get rid of it. What you need to understand is, if you're not using social media for what it's supposed to be used for, you got to throw that shit away. It doesn't make sense for you to be wasting your life on a platform watching women you don't have access to in the first place. They wouldn't even look your way. A lot of you guys have negative bank accounts. You're broke. Your mom is struggling. You don't have a car. Or if you have a car, you have the older makes, your engine light is on. You have nothing to provide, and you're still beating your meat like you've made it in life. What you need to understand, when you're watching porn, you're triggering your brain. You're tricking your brain to thinking that you've made it in life. You're telling yourself, because what you're watching is a bunch of different kinds of women, and you have access to all kinds of women online through a screen. So you're tricking your brain. Your brain is like, oh, bro, this guy's made it. He's fucking women. Because in real life, the chance when you get to fuck women is when you've actually made something of yourself. So if you're just watching all these videos, you're tricking your brain. That's why a lot of people who watch porn, not a lot of people, everybody who watches porn, if you check how they live, how their life is going, you would realize they're low. They're low in a lot of things in their lives because they've had that dopamine climax, and they're demotivated. These guys are lazy, low testosterone. Look at them, they have tits. They're 20 years old with tits. How does that make sense, bro? I'm trying to speak reality to you guys, because I feel like it's a big thing for guys, especially. It's a big thing for guys, especially. I don't know too much about like the addiction with women. I know women do struggle with it, but I know for guys it's a bigger thing. As you guys look at this, and this is how you guys replace not having interactions in real life with. You go online and you watch all these messed up videos. That's besides that. Figure out the trigger, take it away. Take away all your social medias. Number 2, you need to find yourself a purpose. What is your goal? What do you want to be? What do you want to accomplish? A lot of people are students. They're trying to become lawyers. They're trying to become doctors. Why don't you put all that energy into becoming that as soon as possible, so you can develop yourself and provide for your family and find a natural woman and please yourself in that sense? Watching porn doesn't do anything for you. The women you're watching are getting pleased by other men. They're not going to cook for you. They're not going to support you when you're low. A lot of people replace that feeling because that's their love. That's the sense you feel like you're getting love from those videos, but that's not love. That's just lust, bro. That's a waste. You got to find purpose. Find where you want to be in life and actually try and accomplish it. Set goals. Write it down. What I want you guys to do at this end of this video is write a goal where you see yourself, what you want to accomplish this month. Start small and expand. Go higher. Go larger, go bigger. Number 3, picture yourself. What kind of man, what kind of woman do you see yourself? What kind of values do you want to hold? I want you to start living by those standards. And I'm not saying that if you put in all the work and everything, you're not going to fail a couple times, because that's part of life. But once you fail, you get back up and you get right back to it. That's the whole point, is to try and do it. Set a standard for yourself. What do you want to live by? If you want to be fit, because a lot of people who be watching porn, they're fat, you're not healthy, or you're super skinny, you're skinny, you have no value in the sex life, in the dating world. No girls look your way. Because I'm going to tell you this right now, if you're fat, you're skinny, you're going to be destroyed. You're going to be destroyed, bro, in the dating world. No girl is going to look your way. It's either you're rich and you're fat, or you're fit and you're broke, or you're fit or you're rich. You know what I mean? It's not you're fat and you're broke. That shit doesn't add up. That shit doesn't make sense. So live by standards. Find a standard you want to live by and follow it. Proceed with it. Actually live by that. Hold yourself accountable to the things you say you're gonna do and actually proceed with it. And yeah, you'd be on the right track. But this video is not to ridicule anybody or tell anybody that, oh, like you're an ass, you're a loser, you have no value in real life. Or I'm trying to say, especially for the guys, you hold no value when you just live your life by watching porn and using instant gratifications to proceed with your life. You hold no value to it. So basically what I'm trying to say is that you may come from a rich family, your family might be good, but you still got people you got to take care of in the future. Your parents aren't going to always be there for you. You got to live your life like everything is your responsibility, because the second you turn into an adult, bro, everything changes. So you got to realize. And another way that would help you stop with this porn addiction, because I know it's a very strong thing. It's more than just physical. It's more of a spiritual thing. It's a battle. There are demons involved. This is where you got to involve God. I'm a man that believes in God. I believe that there is a higher power. I believe God is there for you. This is when you ask for a higher power's help. You need God to be in your life. You need him to come and intervene and press his presence upon you, because at the end of the day, there are things you can't do by yourself. There's many things you can't do by yourself, and this is one of it. You need people around you as well. You need friends and people who would hold you accountable to the things you say you're going to stop, like porn. The more people you involve, and I'm not saying tell the whole world that you have a porn addiction, but you should involve people who will help you in the future. You need to involve people who mean well for you. This is an addiction, for crying out loud. You're not going to be able to accomplish anything by yourself. You got to involve friends. That's what I did. I spoke to some of my friends. I was like, yo, what can I do? And they too were struggling with it. So you have to involve people. The only way you can beat such a big issue is if you have a community. You have a team. You have people who would hold you accountable if you were to set standards for yourself. Get people to hold you accountable. That's a proper thing for you to do, especially if you're struggling with an addiction like this. Get people to work with you. If you really need to, seek therapy. This is something you need help with. You need a team. You need a community around you. You need people who would hold you accountable, like I just said. You need to be able to take responsibility over your own problems, firstly. Look at it as you want change. You got to be willing to change. It's not something you just say you want to quit. You got to be willing to change. Involve God into your life. I'll tell you what, if you decide to quit, it's going to be very tough at the start. It's going to be very hard. You're going to feel like you're wasting your time. Probably going to relapse a couple of times. You're going to go back to your old habits. For God knows, you're probably going to get back into it and be back to base one, square one, But what you need to know is that you need to keep pushing. You need to keep pushing. You need to keep pushing. You need to find a way to go through it, to persevere. What I personally did is that I didn't count how many days I was off of porn, because if you're not an alcoholic, you don't count how many days you haven't drank alcohol. I lived by the person who doesn't watch porn lives by. I followed that kind of person's values, and I proceeded that way. I didn't count how many days I wasn't watching porn for. I didn't say, oh, it's been 6 days till I haven't watched porn, types blah blah blah. Bro, I just didn't watch porn, didn't mention it, tried not to think about it. And yes, there were times where I thought about it and I was just like, shoot, I'm really in the mood, I really want to, the urge was strong, blah. I didn't know what to do, but I really put other things as the main purpose into my life, a main picture into my life. I focused on fitness, focused on pursuing my music even harder and all that kind of things. So it's like there's many things you can do to push aside this urge, you know? And I'm gonna tell you, once you quit watching porn, it's gonna scar you. You're gonna be left with a scar. And it's up for you to try and heal step by step. It's up to you to try and heal it step by step. You know, that scar is gonna be big, but you as a person, you're bigger than it, you're stronger than it, you're better than it. What you need to understand is that these are battles a lot of people struggle with. You know, find yourself a community. You know, maybe discuss with people you're comfortable with. You know, that's what I did personally. I found myself friends I could talk to. You know, I got closer to God. I found a purpose. You know, I set myself goals for what I wanted. You know, and it came to the point where I was just like too busy to really actually watch porn. So it's like when my friends will ask me, "Yo, did you watch porn?" I'll be like, "Nah, bro, I didn't watch." Say, "Oh, did you watch anything?" I'm like, "Nah, I didn't watch." You know, I'm too busy. You know, I had things. And another thing is you need to get real interactions. You know, you got to find yourself real women in the real world and actually trying to approach them. You see a pretty girl, you don't look at them and be all weird and have a weird vibe, and then they're like, "Oh, this guy's weird as fuck." You just interact. What I want to encourage all y'all young guys, especially, is you see a female that's beautiful and pretty, bro, get up from what you're doing and try and talk to her, approach her. You know, start a conversation. You know, in my next video, I'll be telling you guys how to actually properly interact with women, how to actually like talk to them like a normal individual. You know, so you don't feel how to actually keep an interaction, a conversation going, so you don't feel like a weirdo, you don't feel like a creep. You know, you gotta have communication skills on check, on lock, so you can talk to pretty and beautiful women, bro. You know, have real life interactions. A lot of the reasons why you guys are going back to porn is because you don't have real life interactions. You guys gotta put yourself out there. And I'm not saying lust around, look for lustful women and try and get women down in the bed and stuff. But I'm just saying have real life interactions. It's better for you to have real life interactions than just taking it off social media and online and bad websites like that. You know, that's why I gotta say for you guys, hopefully you guys have a blessed day. We'll keep update. This will be number 1 for how to beat porn addiction. I know it's a really tough thing, so I'll be making several and multiple videos on this down the line for all y'all young individuals, you know. And I feel like I didn't really dig deep on the women's side of things, you know. That's something I really have to get information on, because I'm just a guy, you know. I've only had a guy's perspective on porn addiction, not a woman's perspective. So that would be something I'd have to research on the women's side. You know, why do women struggle with it? I know why guys struggle with it, but I don't know why women struggle with it. Could be similar, but I know there's probably more to it or less. So we'll have to research on that. So that'll be on the next porn, how to beat porn. I'll dive in on the women's side and point of view of things. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new to this channel, like and subscribe. Real talk shit, YBG Mr. Real Talk. Let's get to it. Humble success.